Jessie Draper, the Valley Girl. What does your company do? Have you ever Googled yourself?
Totally.
What makes a great entrepreneur? What's your next big idea? Tweeting's like my favorite. Let's talk business.
I'm like the Valley Girl.
RocketSpace is an accelerator for high-growth, seed-funded tech startups in San Francisco, currently hosting 130 of the hottest startups in technology. Duncan Logan is founder and CEO of RocketSpace. I'm like the Valley Girl, and here we are at RocketSpace with Duncan Logan of RocketSpace. So how are you doing?
It's great. We've been very, very fortunate in our first, I think we're 16 months old, and we couldn't have timed launching RocketSpace better.
Okay, first of all, what is RocketSpace?
So we define ourselves as an accelerator. So we're not in this sort of early stage Y Combinator 500 startups. You know, I think Paul Graham and Dave and these guys have a fantastic job of hearing an idea, you know, a PowerPoint and a couple of founders with a vision and saying, well, have you thought about putting your business together in this sort of direction or like this, doing a freemium model or doing it through partners? So we typically like companies later stage. So once they've done at least one round of funding and coming out of incubator programs or these early stage programs. And then all we're doing is help accelerate that growth.
Okay.
So once you know where you're going, it becomes very easy for us to sit down with you and go, okay, how can we help you? And typically that comes around in three core areas. So there's access to capital.
Okay.
So we have a very symbiotic relationship, putting companies in front of VCs and vice versa, the VCs sending companies to us. The second part is talent, which every great entrepreneur will swear to you, the team, it's all about the team, it's all about talent. And we totally agree with that. So
right.
We have Rocket Talent, a program which is...
Rocket Talent.
Rocket
I
Talent.
like it.
Which is top jobs for top candidates. So it's just working with the top universities, you know, Kellogg, Wharton, these sort of people in the US, putting people into the jobs that are needed here at RocketSpace. And then the final part is customers. And so we have a corporate ambassador program where every week we have large corporates from Pearson or Microsoft or Dropbox or Budweiser or whatever coming in and sitting down here and meeting with startups who then hopefully they go on and partner with and, you know, get going.
What are some of the companies that are in here right now?
So at the moment, I mean, companies, typically most of we say the companies have to be seed funded or beyond.
Okay.
So when every company comes to us, we look at them and say, are they going to kind of add to the gene pool or
okay.
subtract it from the gene pool?
Right.
Most of the companies in here, Podio, PocketGems,
and Spotify is here too,
yeah,
right?
Spotify fall into that, you know, seed funded or beyond.
Right.
So the Spotify team came to us and said, you know, we want to put a team in here. We looked at who the team were and what they're going to be doing. They're doing a lot of work with Facebook, and we said, yeah, absolutely, they're a great team. And we have other large companies. So Next Jump is a big company
okay.
out of New York who have a team in here. Beatport, another big music website based out of Denver, they've got a team in here. And then there's actually one or two teams from these corporates who have gone a little bit further than just working with the startups, but they actually have a team here. So Sony Corporation from Japan have a team in here.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Docomo.
So literally the corporate companies are having
so they put a little innovation team in here.
Right.
And they'll sit and work with some of the startups that they're interested in or work on their own projects or just, you know, get the vibe of what it's like to be back in an innovating environment.
What are some of the things that you think encourages startups to come here?
I think the real attraction to RocketSpace is the quality of the other people around here.
Right.
So there's no doubt that quality begets quality. And when we have, you know, there's people, it's one of the things I kind of really love about the Valley and my move to Silicon Valley is that there are people out on the floor here who have already sold a startup for several hundred, there's a couple of people in here who've sold a startup for over $1 billion.
Wow.
You would not be able to spot them. They're just there working away, you
right.
know, sitting with a couple other guys working on a new idea or whatever. But within RocketSpace, there's so many people with so much experience, and obviously with that experience, comes connections and contacts, and it's just an ecosystem. So once you're in here, I think a lot of people find it great. You know, we have beer nights and so forth.
I love beer nights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who doesn't?
Well, we have two kegerators, the evil twins. So there's free beer.
Two kegerators?
Yeah, two kegerators down there.
Oh, so funny.
Twins. But yeah, so we have free beer, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights. And that's when people start to realize, oh my God, this guy used to be the co-founder of X, or this guy was like the third developer at company Y. And that's where those relationships kind of gently get going.
Now, you've watched so many companies grow here. What's your favorite stage of a business, do you think?
I think it's a tipping point. You know, there's certain companies, obviously Eric Ries and his lean startup, and the pivot and the try. But there are definitely companies who come in here and they will try something and they'll be working on it. And we can get engaged. We don't try and be, like we're business experts, because the field is so varied, from mobile gaming to, social sort of plays to SaaS and corporate businesses. But you start to see sort of trends across it. But every now and then, a company that have been here, they've been in late in the evenings, working weekend, they go, we got it. And they go, we got, 1,000 new users yesterday, we got 3,000 new users today, and they're just like, they've taken off. Well,
what are you most excited that you are working on here at RocketSpace right now?
For us, personally, we've grown very quickly to be full. We're working on a new building where we want to go to a much, much bigger, not so much to take in a lot more companies, but we want to allow the companies to stay with us longer. So allow companies to go right up to 100 people per company. And the layout of that and the structure of that would have to be slightly different. So we're working away on that. We're also working away on a lot more of the corporates. So, we're already
bringing more corporate companies
in. We see a lot of them coming through, and every month we get more and more of them signing up to our ambassador program, and that's just a win for everyone as we see it, in that the corporates are seeing great innovation, the startups are getting access to really big, awesome companies.
That's amazing. This is a great opportunity for a startup.
So, I mean,
I'm literally sitting here thinking, God, we got to move into RocketSpace.
You could be here with ESPN and
I know.
Turner Media and all these. MTV were on that sofa just Friday. You should have been here.
Well, Duncan, you are so fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank
this
you.
was
Welcome.
so fun. High five.
There.
You're a rock star.
We even hit.
A RocketSpace rock star. I'm like the Valley Girl.
And I'm like Duncan Logan from RocketSpace.
RocketSpace. I want to sing it to the Rocket Man song. And now it's time for your Dits moment. Well, I'm like the Valley Girl, and here we are at RocketSpace. I messed up. RocketSpace. No, I was just showing you that I do mess up, and I did right there.